We already have some people saying they'd buy one. It's awesome.
All right, guys, here in the top right-hand corner of Xel'Naga Caverns, switching his color on us, that is Fnatic.Nightend. His opponent down here at the bottom left-hand corner is Dignitas.SjoW. This was Dignitas' map pick as they lost game number 1, and not too surprised to see them go after what is affectionately known as the Protoss Graveyard, the map that relies completely on positioning. That is Xel'Naga Caverns.
Yep. We'll just have to see what happens here. Nightend is the blue Protoss player at the top right, and SjoW is the red Terran in the bottom left. And what were you referring to? The Protoss Graveyard?
Yes, that's what Frank likes calling it. So,
and what's that?
He just doesn't like this map at all. Well, okay,
as a Protoss player?
Yeah, think about it. A couple of different reasons. Xel'Naga towers are still just as powerful to control as Terrans on this map for positioning issues. You can still PF your gold, and the only unit that's really going to outrange that is the Colossus. And in addition to that, 1-1-1 cheesy all-in play is really popular on this map because of the short
I would
distance.
imagine so. That would probably be the reason why Protoss players aren't liking that map too much.
Yes.
But looking at the map from a macro aspect, I don't think it's that favored for any race. If anything, Protoss players really love closed and confined spaces, and this map does feature a very closed area in the middle of the map where Protoss players can force field and cut bio armies in half. The one feature that really helps Terran out a little bit is that little area in the center, that little hole where Vikings can stand in the middle and they can shoot Colossus in that little dead space.
Right.
Besides that, though, I think this map is a pretty fair map, but we'll just have to see if that 1-1 all-in changes things a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. And that may very well be what SjoW was deciding to go with. SjoW, of course, a very good decision maker, and I love watching his play. I've been a big fan of SjoW for a while. He was actually initially one of my favorite players to watch. He was a popular streamer. Excuse me, this would have been back in December of last year when he was really streaming most of the time, and I remember tuning in on his stuff pretty much every day.
Almost got the lock on the probe there. I'm surprised SjoW allowed that probe to escape. That could have been a free 50 mineral kill, but the supply depot went down just a hair too late, even though he had 100 minerals, I believe. But he is opening up with reactor barracks here. Interesting. Yeah,
it's a pretty popular opening to go ahead and go with the 2 racks opening reactor first. You can still time with pretty good upgrades, usually concussive shell if you're going to be very aggressive early on, or it leaves you open to do a simple 2 racks expand behind a lot of Marines and get stim first, or this is also transition into the 1-1-1.
I was thinking the 1-1-1
there is but getting the reactor first is really, really common. I would expect we're going to see, I'm not sure why there hasn't been a factory yet. There we go. Okay, he had plenty enough resources for it. Looks like his attention was occupied elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll just have to see where he goes with this, because I was thinking he was going to open up with a tech lab on the barracks first just to get the upgrades in terms of conch shells right away for his Marauders if you wanted to open up with Marauders. But
well, I mean, what he's doing right now is going to lead him towards that Banshee Marine tank all-in 1-1-1 at the moment. I mean, that's actually going to be extremely powerful, and this is exactly how you go about it if that's the direction you want to take.
Let's see. He is opening up with Marines right now, and he's got that factory coming down. There is a robotics facility coming right away for Nightend, which I kind of like. He's going to have the Observer immediately to scout into SjoW's main to check for exactly what he's doing. And on top of that, that Observer is going to help in case SjoW does go for that 1-1 all-in, because Cloak Banshees seem to be a pretty popular opening as well, and the Observer will be able to detect that.
Yeah, he's got so much gas coming in right now that he'll have 1 tank, 1 Banshee available for an attack in the very short future. Nightend actually going after a 1-gate Robo Expand. Now, this is something similar to what we saw, I believe it was Future? Was it Perfect for Rain tried to do this against Rain? Oh, that's so confusing, but you know what I mean. Fnatic Rain, he tried to do it. And he would have been fine because he had the Robo Bay up and a Colossus out, but it was bad unit control, and it seems like the quick Colossus is a pretty good way to deal with it.
A quick Colossus, but at the same time expanding? I don't know. This is going to be really fishy for Nightend. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold off a 1-1 all-in. We do have tanks coming, and we have a dropship on the way rather than a Banshee. So that's a little interesting. I guess he's going to try to go for some drop harass play here off the 1-1-1.
Well, either that or he's doing something similar to what TLO did in the beta in TVT, which was you make a big timing push behind 1 medevac, and by the time you get your medevac up to the front, you can ferry units in, or you can just use it for vision and a little bit of support for your siege tank as well. But this is something I've actually seen out of TLO a lot, but like I said, admittedly in TVT. But SjoW is actually giving his opponent quite a bit of time to to prepare. And now, yes, I would expect him to pull a bunch of SCVs. There it is! And the all-in is about to commence. But if Nightend is able to hold round number 1, he is going to have Colossus deck available to him.
Yes, we'll just have to wait and see. I think Colossus is on the way right now, but there's no range. I really feel like this is a dicey situation for Nightend. I mean, anytime the Terran player nowadays plays against a Protoss, it's so hard. Look, he's already calling Imba. It's so hard to expand, and I don't know what he was thinking here with this expansion, because that 1-on-1 all-in so prevalent in today's metagame, and how in the world is he going to be able to hold this off with the SCVs coming to boot for repair and for just absorbing damage in the front as well? I think this might just be game for Nightend.
We'll find out. Colossus number 1 is just about to finish, so it
yeah,
looks like he is going
mode.
to sack his Nexus for a while. We'll find out. Marines making their way up to the top right, already killing a couple of probes. Nightend is going to have to run away with those unless he is just upset with what he has, and he may be going for a flank here, either the flank or the counterattack. He at the very least is going to pick off a couple of units. Colossus is about to make its way in. He's going right after the siege tanks. There are a ton of Marines left. These bunkers are just about to finish, and the bunkers finishing is really big. This Colossus is still remaining, though. Both the tanks have actually fallen.
Oh my god!
And Show is reduced to nothing but a couple of Marines.
And Nightend looks like he's going to hold here. I mean, his Colossus remained alive, which is absolutely huge. It doesn't matter how many bunkers you've got. That Colossus has range upgraded. It will be able to outrange the bunkers. And it looks like Nightend is going to break the 1-on-1 all-in after expanding. This is incredible. And it looks like Show, maybe just a little bit poor execution there. His tanks, you know, one of the tanks was just driving up into the middle of that counterattack flank from the Protoss army. He really should have been paying attention to it, because that tank could have helped a lot. And as it stands, Nightend is way ahead now.
Yeah, you say that about the expansion, but every time I've seen the 1-1-1 all-in successfully fended off and then follow-up damage done, the person has actually gone after either a 1-gate or a 1-gate robo expand. So it certainly worked out really well for him. Show actually putting up 2 more racks as well, and I imagine he's just going to drag another good amount of SCVs and try for all-in part number 2, and there they are.
It is all in part number 2, but this one, this second wave, I don't think it's going to be as effective as the first wave, because now there's going to be 2 Colossus on the field, doubling the amount of long-range firepower that Nightend's got. And, you know, Cats, you hinted at the fact that you've seen most Protoss players survive the 1-on-1 after expanding, but they'd probably survive it even better if they just didn't expand in the first place.
Yeah, but now they can actually suffer economic damage and still be in the game while establishing tech. So, and then if they even just draw even on the first engagement, then they're able to pull ahead for the second one. So it puts them in a really good position. Here we go, though. 2 Colossi out, and that bio is just disappearing for Show. Another Guardian Shield goes down. These siege tanks are relatively unprotected now. The Vikings have done their damage, but there's really nothing left for them to kill. The Immortal's busting the tanks, going to get himself out of the way. Looks like Nightend is going to pull back for the time being, but he's already reinforcing very well.
I'm pretty sure Nightend's gonna get this game in the bag. I don't think Show is gonna win, and you know, Fnatic Scout Nightend has won 2 games in a row now. I don't see him losing this game. He's done an incredible job for Fnatic. Day in and day out, he's won at least 1 or 2 games in a row, and he's done it here yet again. And not only that, he's held off the 1-on-1 all-in, which is something that Protoss players have a lot of problems with.
And we'll see how Show goes for bit by bit prime level number 3, as he does have a tech lab coming down on the starports. He has a ton of gas, but really no minerals to speak of. Actually needs to pull himself off of gas and just produce nothing but Marines, and I guess maybe he's looking for a Raven with as much gas as he has. Not really sure what this is for, to be perfectly honest, because I really don't think he has a follow-up at the moment. There's 2 Immortals, there's a Colossus on the field, the 3rd Immortal joining, and now Nightend is warping in on 3 gates pretty regularly because he's supporting a pretty good economy with 33 probes. Yeah, this is not really winnable situation for Show at the moment.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be the last hurrah for Show. This is the last attack for him. He's got a wave of SCVs. This is going to be the final blow. But I don't see him winning this one at all. I think he's just going to run into a brick wall.
Yep, and unfortunately the rest of those units are going to go down. We expect GG out of Show here in a second.
GG.
There it is.